Hey guys, Trevor H here. Welcome to another episode of the Who Are We podcast. Today I have a special guest with us, Dr. Loice Korir. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good.
Thank you for joining us. Just before we get started, I'll just do a bit of a disclosure that this episode or this discussion is getting recorded, and we're going to post it onto our YouTube channel, just to let other people have a listen and learn about who you are and in your story. Hopefully it might inspire other people to investigate their own life and their own stories. So again, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. We might just get straight into it. Who is Dr. Joy and what does she stand for?
Okay, I'm Dr. Korir. I am in Kenya. I'm a mentor. I'm a lecturer. I like changing people's life in terms of attaining their goals. Being a lecturer has really mattered me so much. And I always try to I always use my power of lecturer distinction to make sure I mentor people to follow certain paths in their lives.
Yep. And lecturer, you said. What field do you generally specialize in?
Okay, at my bachelor's I did procurement. I proceeded to master's. I did procurement, and then at doctorate level I did PhD marketing.
Yep.
So I am a batch of purchasing at the same time marketing.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Obviously, a lot of hard work and dedication to get that sort of level over there, was it?
Okay, currently I did my bachelor's. I did 2014.
Yep.
That is procurement, purchasing, and supplies in Kenya. Again, I proceeded to masters in Kenya, actually in one of the universities in Kenya, and I did purchasing and supplies again in master's level.
Yeah.
And then in the doctorate level, I did marketing, marketing management. But again, as an undergraduate, I did a minor in marketing. When in our university, we are doing a blend, minor one, major one. So when I was a bachelor, I do a minor in marketing, I majored purchasing. When I proceeded to masters, I felt it was okay to go with purchasing, so I did purchasing. Then when I went to doctorate, because I had minored marketing at the undergraduate level, now I do marketing. So I have a blend of them too.
Wow, that's amazing work, and congratulations for all that. What sort of messages do you have for the younger generation or people aspiring to do greatness and maybe follow in some of your footsteps?
Yeah, what I can tell my students or anybody who is aspiring, when you choose a certain goal, make sure the current trends that in education, they encourage one specialization. But if you can plan both one or two, so that it can enhance your marketability, I would advise them to choose the right career path, and to choose maybe one or two careers that are very close together. They can do something that is close, then you perform well in the market, and they can even work anywhere.
Yeah. So you had a clear picture of what you wanted to do before you started your journey. You sort of planned it a little bit, not so much spontaneous. Fell into it.
Yeah, when I began, actually when I was called to a university, that was 2008. I was called for bachelor's. I had a qualification for science. and marketing and business management. But then when I focus on the two, I went for market. I went for why I went for business. I feel like if you're not in business, you cannot work in an institution. Then you can business out. And by then, my mother was working in a certain business environment. They were buying a lot of place and selling, so I was part of it. So I felt like I need more skills to come and run this business later. But again, when I was done with bachelor's, I felt like this education is too low. I need to advance so that I can be at a certain level with other colleagues and work and be in a better position to earn more. I advanced to masters. When I finished masters, I felt like by the time I'm looking for a job, I cannot get a job. So I felt like I should go to direct degree for PhD so that whenever I'm in the field, I can do anything. And actually I went for PhD marketing. And when I finished, I had a lot of hustle here and there looking for a job. But to my advantage, the only job I did that was very easy to get is lecturing. So I had to go to lecture, and it has been my interest to grow more.
That's amazing. And do you think because obviously you've gone through these different steps throughout your education and throughout your working career, is there any more steps to go, or are you going to be content with where you're at now, or are you going to continue to grow, or what do you think moving forward?
Currently, as I'm working, I want to be a researcher. I'm growing in my research. I've done a few publications. So I wanted to work for a while to get maybe some let me say call some fee so that I can advance to postdoctorate. I believe at a postdoctorate I can do more research and work anywhere, advance my career.
Yeah. And do you feel like being a woman over in Nigeria that there's been any limitations to you achieving what you want to do? Do you feel that you've had to work harder than say men over there, or do you feel that there's a bit of equality there at the moment, or what's your feeling?
Yeah, as a woman, sometimes there's some limitation. Remember, I am a mother, so I have to take care of my children. And at the same time, what I mean is work-life balance. Have balanced life at work, have balanced life with children, taking care of their responsibility, and I'm also a husband. And I'm also a wife to a husband. So I need to balance all of them. And by balancing all of them, it's normally challenging.
Yeah. And that balance that you find, is that something that's you got to continually adjust, or depends on your workload at work, or do you find it that easy, or is that hard work to juggling children and a husband and a career obviously takes a lot of work? Do you find it challenging and you have to readjust all the time, or is it something that comes naturally to you?
No, I can really it very well. At my level as a lecturer, as a lecturer, you are not teaching. You can do your work, you can do your you can do your teaching, lecturing, tutoring, and then when you finish, you can attend your family and have some time with them. Yeah. And of course, you extend with other home activities.
Yeah, that's right. So leave your work at work and be present at home with your family. Yeah. And have you got any final words, or any words of wisdom, other words of wisdom that you'd like to pass on before we finish up? Is there something else that may help other people, do you think, that you've learned along the way?
Yeah, I've learned that when you have a career, try to balance as much like now with the family. When you have some people neglect the family and concentrate so much on their career that they lose the family. Try to fit in that career and you balance your family well. Another thing is that you must have a focus. Sometimes when you have a family, you lose focus and think you will move out of your career. So try to balance the career again and the family so that you will not shift out of the career and concentrate so much on the family, or you may concentrate so much on the work and really forget your family. So try to balance the two as much as possible.
Yeah,
And
because
again,
yeah, because if you focus too much on your career and neglect your family, then you may lose your family, and what's it all for? Or if you focus too much on your family and not much on your career, then you can lose it all either way, can't you? So yeah, so finding that right balance is something that you feel is a very important aspect to what you do. Yeah,
yeah, it's very important because this family, you really need them. If you go for career now, you also need career, but the family is very important. They
very
are part
important.
of you and you need them.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
again, this career, you need it because it serves the family. So you
yeah,
need to balance as much as you can. Also, plan to advance. Don't stagnate in one place. If you stagnate again, you will become redundant. So we need to
yeah.
avoid the redundancy as much as possible.
So you're saying to keep trying to improve and move up and move on with your life and your career and your education. You're not staying stagnant. You're not staying at the same spot all the time. Continually improve where you're at. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a continuous improvement. Like for me,
Improvement.
I
Yeah.
aspire to go to post-doctorate level and do research.
Yeah. Yeah.
In our career part, you must do a research so that you can get a position. So if I
Yeah.
don't balance, I will get out of focus. I will lose my focus. So I need to
Yeah.
balance that so that I can go to the next stage. Yeah.
And do you see it as a lifelong journey, this continual growth of your career and continual bond of your family? It's something that you're going to do right through to your old age. Do you feel like it's something that you're not, it doesn't sound like you're going to sit and say, okay, I've made it. You're going to continually keep pushing, it sounds like.
Of course, it's not something that's difficult. It's not difficult. I can manage it and I can do it. It's not something that's, it's about planning. Yeah. If you can plan yourself well, you can finish it. You can do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much for sharing your insights with us today. It's been a real pleasure listening to you, and you've been quite inspirational in your journey. Yeah, and it's been such a pleasure to listen to you speak and share some of your words of wisdom. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. It was my pleasure. Right.
No worries. Have a good evening. See you. Bye.